Hi, I'm Megan Ritchie, owner of Trustle Recruiting. We specialize in helping locally owned and operated trades and home service business owners build strong teams. Today, I want to share a recruiting system with you. This video is called Winning the Summer Rush, Making Your Open Positions Irresistible When Demand Spikes. And whether you're an owner or an operations manager, an HR director, or an in-house recruiter in the home services space, what I'm about to walk you through is directly applicable to your situation. We know how hard it is to find top talent any time of the year, but it's even trickier in the high season times. Let's dive in. We're going to cover three things. First, how to actually define and anticipate your high demand months so you are not reacting, you are ready. Second, how to implement a fast track hiring process that moves a candidate from application to offer in just 48 hours or less. And third, how to use signing bonuses, seasonal guarantees, and immediate truck dispatch to pull passive technicians, the ones who are already employed and not looking, right out of their current jobs and into yours. All right, so to begin, we're going to talk about defining high demand months. Before you can win the summer rush, you have to understand what you're actually dealing with. And I find that a lot of business owners in the trades industry specifically know that summer is busy, specifically HVAC, plumbing, and electrical. There are others as well, but they have not done the hard work of turning that feeling into a number, a date, and a threshold for hiring in advance. So let me give you a framework. In home services, high demand months are not just when your call volume spikes. That's not all it consists of. High demand is a specific combination of three factors happening at the same time. Customer call volume goes up, your existing field staff gets stretched thin, and your open positions become actively harder to fill because every competitor in your space is fishing in the same pond. The third factor, the competitive recruiting environment, is the one I think that owners underestimate the most. They think, oh, summer is busy. I need more techs. I'm just going to post some jobs. And they post those jobs right in the middle of high season, again, when every other HVAC or plumbing outfit, electrical contractor in the region is doing the exact same thing. The labor market tightens during these times, and so response rates drop. Good candidates have multiple offers on the table at the same time, and your standard, I need someone immediately, that kind of hiring timeline is now a massive liability. So when are your high demand months? Let me give you the general pattern by trade because it does vary. For HVAC, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, you typically have two peaks. The first is late May through August, driven by air conditioning demand, of course. And then the second is October through February, driven by heating in colder regions. If you are in a Sunbelt state, that summer window can stretch well into September. For plumbing, the pattern is a little different. You see spikes in the spring when people are doing renovation work and discovering problems around their homes. You see another spike in summer from outdoor projects and pool-related projects. And then a hard spike in winter from freeze events, particularly if you're in a market that does not normally see hard freezes, like we sometimes have here in Atlanta. Those events are chaotic and they strip your crew very quickly. For electrical, demand tracks closely with construction and renovation cycles. Spring and summer tend to be the heaviest, with a secondary push in the fall before holiday season. People like to have their lights ready to go for friends and family and visitors. Now, here's the exercise I want you to do. Pull your last 2 or 3 years of data. Look at your call volume by month and look at your technician overtime hours by month. Also, study when you had open positions and how long those positions stayed open. Map that onto a calendar. What you're going to find is that you have a window, usually of about 6 to 8 weeks, that is your true crunch period. That is your high demand window. And the goal of everything I'm about to teach you is to have your recruiting infrastructure fully loaded and ready to fire before that window opens. Not during, before it. The business owners and operators who win the summer rush started their recruiting push in March. They were building their pipeline in April and they were making offers in April and May. By the time June hits, their competitors start panicking, but they're already staffed up and taking market share. That is the mindset shift. High demand months are not a crisis to respond to. They are a deadline to prepare for. Section 2, fast track hiring, moving from application to offer in just 48 hours or less. Let's talk about the process that makes this possible. Because even if you start early, or even if you have a great job posting and a solid employer brand, you will still lose candidates if your hiring process is slow. And I want to be direct with you. Most home services companies have a hiring process that is embarrassingly slow. We coach our clients to this a lot. We have them ready to make a contingency offer when they interview someone face-to-face. But back to what we see as a slow hiring process. I'm talking about candidates who apply on a Monday and do not hear anything from your office until a Thursday. Phone screens that get scheduled a week out, multiple rounds of interviews spread across 2 or 3 weeks, background checks that take entirely too long, and an offer letter that has to go through several people before it lands in someone's inbox. I have seen this process lose excellent technicians, people who were generally interested and qualified, but by the time the offer came, they had already accepted something else. And the hiring manager or the owner sat there saying, I don't know why it is so hard to find a good tech to hire. It's just that. Their hiring process was too slow. So here is how you build a 48-hour hiring track. And yes, I mean 48 hours from application to offer. I have implemented this with companies ranging from small owner-operators hiring their very first technician, plumber, electrician, you name it, HVAC tech, to regional service businesses with hundreds of techs, and it works. Step 1, same-day application response. Critical. The moment a candidate applies, whether that's through Indeed, through your website, or through a referral, they need to hear from you immediately, same day. Not 24 hours, not several days later, ideally in 2 hours. And you can automate a text message or an email that acknowledges the application and sets the next step up and ready to go. The goal here is to signal to the candidate we are organized, we move fast, and we value your time. Step 2, a structured 15 to 30-minute phone call, but preferably a video interview. And this is not really a deep skills dive. It's a conversation to confirm the basics. Do they have the licensing you need? Current employment status, what is it? Compensation expectations, availability. Are they a culture fit feasibly? And what is their interest level? You are qualifying here, not doing a deep dive evaluation process. Step 3, if they pass that screening, that initial video screening, schedule that in-person interview, if you will, same day, as fast as possible, or next day. Don't wait for several days. The interview should run, in this case, in this next face-to-face interview, 45 minutes to an hour. And this is where the technical evaluation occurs, and you're diving more deeply into culture fit, and you're selling the role. Yes, selling and pitching the role. And I'll come back to that in a minute. Step 4, conditional offers. If the candidate is the right fit, don't go home and think about it. Don't make them go home and think about it. Make a verbal conditional offer on the spot, pending background check or drug tests, whatever it is that you need to do. Hand them some paperwork before they leave the building. It puts some skin in the game, and they won't just go and take the next job offered to them. All right, the other thing is try to go with a background check company that can get you an answer in a day or two, not weeks. It shouldn't take that long anymore, and you may pay a little more, but it is worth it. Step 6, a written formal offer within 48 hours. You want to get this to them as fast as possible. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, this sounds great, but I don't have the staff to move that quickly, or our owner has to approve every hire, or we've never done it this way. My response is this: those are process problems, not impossibility problems. If your owner has to approve every hire personally, the solution is to get pre-approval on a hiring budget, the compensation range, and specifically what they want at the beginning of the season, so that during the crunch, you have the authority to make offers without calling for permission every time or having them have to interview the person. If you do not have the staffing to look at resumes and applications that come in same day, hire someone part-time. Do what you need to do to keep those candidates moving through the pipeline quickly, or hire a specialized recruiting firm to help. You will get an ROI on that. Speed is a competitive advantage in the home services market. Use it. Section 3, let's talk about the guarantees, the immediate truck dispatch, the seasonal offers. So what separates good recruiters from great ones? Everything I've talked about so far, knowing your high demand window, building a fast process, these things get you in front of active candidates, people who are already looking. But here's the truth about the best technicians in your market. Most of them are not on Indeed or on the job boards. They are not updating their resumes. They are employed, and they are not actively looking for a new job. They're what we call passive candidates, and we go after them. You should too. To move a passive candidate, you need more than a fast hiring process. You need an irresistible offer. So let's talk about some tools that I use and that you might want to consider implementing. First one is the signing bonus. A signing bonus is not a bribe. I want you to reframe this if this is how you're thinking about it. A signing bonus is a risk compensation. When a technician leaves their current employer to join you, they are taking on a risk. They are giving up tenure, familiarity, potentially a relationship with their current manager that is good, and in some cases, accrued benefits or pending raises. A signing bonus says, we acknowledge this risk and we are sharing it with you. Also, if you are uneasy about providing thousands of dollars to a new hire right away, you can disperse the hiring bonus, not a signing bonus, a hiring bonus, over 3 payout periods. So pay them 90 days, pay a third, pay another third 6 months, and another third after a year. This incentivizes them to stay on board with your organization, and they make that bonus in the first year, which is great. Now, how much? In today's market, and I'm recording this in 2026, so adjust accordingly, but for an HVAC licensed technician, a meaningful signing bonus is somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000 on average, depending on your market, the candidate's experience level, and how badly you need them. For a master plumber or a journeyman electrician, the range is similar. Tool 2, the seasonal guarantee. This is one of my most underused recruiting tools in the home services industry, and I genuinely do not understand why more companies are not using it. And here's how it works. You tell the candidate, for the duration of our peak season, let's say it's June through August, we guarantee you a minimum of 45 hours per week. You will not be sent early because it rained. You will not lose hours if we have a slow Thursday. We guarantee your hours. For a technician who has experienced the feast or famine nature of seasonal work, this is extraordinarily compelling because the uncertainty of variable hours is one of the primary reasons good techs leave companies. They need to make their bills, make a mortgage payment, pay their rent, pay their car payment. They need to know what their check is going to be. A seasonal guarantee removes that anxiety, and it signals that you are a well-run organization. The key to making this work on your end is forecasting. If you have done the work I described in that section 1, mapping your historical call volume, identifying your true crunch window, then you actually know you are going to have 45 plus hours average of work available for them. You're not guessing. You are making a commitment you are confident you can keep. Tool 3, immediate truck dispatch. What do I mean by this? This is one simple in concept and incredibly powerful in practice. When a qualified technician accepts an offer, they start, let's say, on a Monday with a fully equipped truck assigned to them. Their tools stocked and they're ready to run calls. I cannot tell you how many companies I have seen where a new technician shows up on day one and spends their first week sitting in the seat next to a technician who has less experience than them because their truck isn't ready. That is demoralizing and it communicates disorganization. And for a tech who came from a competitor that had their act together, it's a red flag. Immediate truck dispatch communicates the opposite. It says, we're ready for you. We want you here. You are not a placeholder. You are a planned addition to this team. And hopefully that's what you want to communicate with your great culture that you have. From a recruiting standpoint, when you tell a passive candidate during your pitch, and yes, you should be pitching, as I said, you should be selling your company as hard as a salesperson sells your services. When you tell that candidate that they will have their own truck day one, it moves the needle. It's tangible, it's concrete, it is something that their current employer may not be offering or didn't do for them. And again, there are situations where some onboarding is needed, like CRM training. That's different. The truck should still be ready, even if there's some onboarding to do. Now, I want to acknowledge something. Some of you are watching this and thinking about the costs. Signing bonuses cost money, guaranteeing specific hours has a risk. Stocking a truck in advance requires capital. And you're right, but I want you to put that cost against the alternative. What does it cost you per day when you have an unfulfilled truck? For some companies, it costs them tens of thousands of dollars a month when a truck is not filled. What does it cost you in customer satisfaction and reputation when your response time stretches out? What happens if you have people quitting left and right because they are being stretched too thin? Not good. In most markets, a single open truck peak season costs a home services company so many thousands. And it doesn't have to be that way. A $3,000 signing bonus pays for itself in a week in most cases. The math is not even close. In closing, your preseason recruiting checklist. Let me bring this home for you. If you take nothing else from this video, take this. The summer rush rewards the prepared and it punishes the reactive. And the difference between those two outcomes is almost entirely a function of what you do in the 60 to 90 days before your high demand window opens. Here is your action list. Number 1, pull your historical data and identify your exact high demand window. Write it on a calendar, make it real. Number 2, map your current hiring process end to end and identify where it is slow, then build your fast track version. Application to offer in 48 hours. Practice it before you need it. Number 3, get budget approval now for signing bonuses and the compensation flexibility you need to compete. Do not wait until July to have that conversation with your boss or owner or finance team. 4, build your seasonal guarantee language into your offer template. Know what you're prepared to commit to and make it part of your pitch. Don't be vague. The details in the ad and when you're speaking with someone makes the difference. Top techs want to see specifically what you offer versus the others. Number 5, talk to your operations team about truck readiness. How quickly can they have a truck equipped and assigned? And if the answer is 2 weeks, work on that now. And 6, this is the one that most people skip. Start building relationships with passive candidates right now, not when you need them, but now. Get on various platforms to make connections, go to trades event associations, things like that. Ask your best technicians for referrals and offer a bonus for anyone who refers someone and they stay longer than 90 days. Build the network before the urgency hits. You should always be recruiting, always be recruiting. The recruiters who do this are not smarter than everyone else. They're playing the long game when everyone else is playing catch up, and they coach their clients on the things that make a difference. Things like this. I've spent 20 plus years, watching companies scramble every summer, wondering why it's so tough to find those they need, and then yet they'll do the exact same thing the next year. And I've spent many years watching smaller companies move through peak seasons with confidence, capacity, and cash flow because they did the work in advance. You now have the framework, you have the tools. The only question is whether you are going to use them. Good luck out there, and go get your techs before someone else does.